Welcome to another episode of Hugo Smokes. I'm your host Hugo, and today I'm going to be smoking the Ashton 858, and this is a 6.5 by 44 cigar. It is wrapped in a Connecticut wrapper over binders and fillers from the Dominican Republic. And the reason why they call it the 858 is because that's the way it's arranged in the boxes. It's layers of 8 cigars over 9 over 8. That's 25 cigars. And as far as my previous experience with Ashton, I did smoke the Maduro number 40, and I thought it was a decent smoke, not much to offer. But I remembered I had this Connecticut in my stash, so we're gonna see how good it is. Let's go ahead and take a look at the semi-sheen wrapper, which is kind of toothy. You can see the overlapping there from the wrapper leaf. The band is kind of basic, in my opinion. Not offering much, just your generic type of band. Some primary colors there. The cap is a little bit sloppy. The foot looks okay, kind of packed. Like a semi-sweet tobacco smell off of the wrapper. Alright, let's go ahead and cut it and test the draw on it. Not much shavings coming off of this one. The draw is very nice on it. I like it. It's like semi-snug and just very earthy on the cold draw. All right, let's go ahead and light it up. All right, on the palate, a little bit of bitterness, mainly just a little bit of cedar notes so far. Not offering much on this light up. Let's go ahead and test the retrohale. On the retrohale, exceptionally smooth. Zero sting on the sinus, very tame. And just getting like a cedary type of note. There's a semi-sweet note coming into the retrohale profile, but I can't identify it yet. So, not a bad start to this Connecticut. Yeah, the sting in the sinus is about like a 1 out of 10. Very tame. Starting to get like a creaminess in the profile. So let me go ahead and smoke this down past the first third, and I'll be back for my first update. Welcome back. I'm at the end of the first third of this Ashton, Connecticut. As you can see, the burn line is pretty much razor sharp, immaculate. The ash is nice and stacked, grayish white. and still producing numerous amounts of smoke. So the stick is performing very good in my opinion. The notes that I picked up in the beginning are still consistent throughout the first third. Some bitterness, some cedar. Smoke is nice and creamy. There's a subtle sweetness as a secondary undertone. It's just like a creamy vanilla type of note that's just riding in the background. It's pretty good and enjoyable. On the retrohale, still getting a little bit of that cedar. Now getting a little bit of pepper, but very subtle, very subtle. And the retro is still very manageable, very tame. It's like about a 1 or 2 out of 10. Yeah, very approachable. And it leaves a nice aftertaste in your mouth, nice finish. Very good. So another thing that I want to mention is that this is a 44 gauge cigar. I personally are into Lanceros and Longsdales now. It feels almost like very elegant. The gauge is like perfect. The resistance on the draw is perfect. It's a little bit snug, not too open. So let me go ahead and keep smoking this down past the second third, and I'll be back for my next update. Welcome back. I'm at the end of the second third of this Ashton 858 Connecticut. As you can see, the construction is pretty good. The burn line is exceptional. There's a little peak there, but nothing to worry about. Ash is still holding on strong. Still getting lots of smoke. There goes that. Alright, so on the second third, not much to report. Honestly, it still has a cedary, semi-floral profile. There's a little bit of pepper that lingers in the palate on the finish. However, that sweet note, it's kind of like a nutty, creamy vanilla note. It's a secondary note. You can barely notice it there. You have to really concentrate. On the retrohale, still getting a cedar, nutty note. And the sting did increase a little bit. It's about a 3 or 4 out of 10 now. Nothing too crazy, right, for a Connecticut. It's still very much manageable, very tame. So pretty much I can say it's a little bit of a linear stick. Not in a bad way though. I am enjoying the notes I'm getting. So far the construction's awesome. As you can see, it's working out great. So let me go ahead and smoke this down as far as I can, and I'll be back for my final update and closing thoughts on this Ashton 858. Welcome back. I'm at the end of this Ashton 858. As you can see, the ash just fell before this take, but the burn line is pretty much dead on still. And the ash was nice and built up as well. And still producing clouds of smoke. Alright, so nothing very much to report on this last third, other than just getting some charred cedar on the palate with some anise spice. However, the flavor profile did increase a little bit in my opinion. So increase in body, a little bit of strength as well. On the retrohale, getting that anise charred cedar as well. The retrohale sting also increased. It's about a 5 or 6 out of 10 now. So it pretty much crescendoed all the way through. Started off very mild. Now it's a little bit stinging on the sinus. The cigar has been burning for about an hour and 40 minutes, which is pretty good for this. I guess it would be like a Longsdale. And the price point of this cigar is pretty much $12 across the board. So I really enjoyed the construction on this cigar. It's pretty much a great constructed cigar. I wasn't really impressed with the flavor profile just because it's a little bit one-dimensional in my opinion. The sweet note that I enjoy in cigars was a little bit subtle. But not a bad cigar in any means. Another thing that I noticed on this Ashton here in the last third, maybe it was at the end of the second third, is that there's a little bit of nicotine coming into it. You feel a little bit of buzz now here at the last third. So that's pretty cool because it's at the end. So today's rating is going to be a 5-pack. If you see these cigars, go ahead and pick some up, especially if you can get them like at a deal. I wouldn't really go out of my way to go looking for this Connecticut, but I did enjoy it with some coffee this morning. And that's pretty much all I have on this Ashton 858. As always, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.